What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Darian's Pokemon. Gonna be playing a game on PTCGO today, and today I am playing Attack Hoopa. Now, I have not actually even looked at this list, so I'm gonna take a look at it real quick, which means that all you guys get to take a nice little gander at it as well. This is on Natalie Champagne's profile, so shout out to Natalie for letting me try this deck, and we're calling this deck Attack Hoopa. This is the list that finished in the top 8 of the Portland Regional Championship, so pretty cool deck, has seen some success, and the reason we're calling it Attack Hoopa, because this Hoopa does not only stall with that Scoundrel Guard ability, it also attacks. So we are trying to take prizes with this thing. It's not just a stall deck. We're not just hazing our opponent by removing energy with things like Enhanced Hammer. We're actually trying to take our full 6 prizes, hence the name Attack Hoopa. So let's go ahead and get started with this thing, see what we got, see what we get paired up against. Now, Natalie was telling me in her experience she kept getting paired against people who had counters to her Attack Hoopa. Now, Hoopa's Scoundrel Guard, or whatever it's called, means that Hoopa cannot be damaged by Pokemon EX or Pokemon GX, so it has to be a non-EX, non-GX in order to knock out Hoopa. Most decks have at least a few, if not, one counter to Hoopa, but usually you can mow down a counter or two. It's when you start getting into the 3, 4, 5 range, where if your opponent's able to recycle their non-EX, non-GX attacker, then you can really be in for a tough time. So this deck will kind of wear things down until the end of the game, and then sometimes your opponent just gets stalled out. They have like 1 or 2 prizes left to take, and they just can't do it. So I've got an Oranguru start and a Mewtwo. I feel like I'm going to start Oranguru just because I don't know what my opponent's playing, and I feel like an Oranguru is a fair thing to have in play. Also, I could Max Elixir onto my benched Mewtwo, though that seems a little underwhelming. So I don't know what my opponent's playing. They started the Giratina. I suspect that it's some sort of Zoroark deck. So let's just go ahead and put our Reverse Valley out, which boosts our own Darkness type Pokemon's attacks by 10 damage. We'll throw that thing down. I feel like the Mewtwo is probably fine to put the DCE on, or I could start powering up this Oranguru, but that feels like really underwhelming. So I think we will just put the DCE onto the Mewtwo. That seems fine. So let's just go ahead and do that. And then I feel like I don't even want to play this Max Elixir. I'd rather just save my energy for any sort of incoming Pokemon. I could Max Elixir and fail, but that just seems underwhelming too. So I could retreat and then Max Elixir onto my Oranguru potentially and make it so that I could Psychic out of nowhere. I kind of don't mind that. So let's just do that. We'll Max Elixir. We missed, which is fine. We'll instruct for 1. See, hopefully we don't draw into anything that we wouldn't want a Sycamore. Well, there's a Cynthia, so we'll just play the Cynthia instead of the Sycamore so that we can preserve the Guzma. I do like that. Now we've got our Hoopas out here in business. I can Nest Ball, probably grab ourselves another Hoopa. We do play our own copy of Giratina, as you can see, to help out with that pesky Greninja matchup. That is not good. We also play a fair amount of things like Acerola. Tapu Koko could be okay to kind of wear down my opponent a little bit, but I think I'm just going with let's get some Hoopas out into play and see where we could go from there. And my opponent scooped. They do not like the fact that I was playing Attack Hoopa. Means they probably did not have an answer to it. So let's roll another game. They probably were just a little bit angry the fact that I had gotten multiple Hoopa out into play. They realized what was going on very quickly, and they were like, scoop it up, boys. I do not have an answer to this. Pretty sure I saw Grass and Dark on their player screen, meaning they might have been playing a Golisopod deck, and most Golisopod decks do not have an answer to Attack Hoopa. They just don't really have anything, so you would have to be going in attacking with the Zorua. That's bad. Attacking with whatever Golisopod evolved from, that's bad too. You definitely don't want to be in that boat. So here we go, is a Hoopa start. That is the ideal start for this deck. I wonder how many scoops I can get just because my opponent sees multiple Hoopas and they're just like, scoop her up, boys. We ain't got it. Now, looks like we are playing against Gardy here. That is not exactly good because Gardy plays multiple Gallade, so I don't really know how we end up winning this one. I imagine we probably just get stomped. But we'll ship it and see how it goes. We're going to start by attaching to our attack Hoopa. And then I feel like I want to Ultra Ball and maybe Max Elixir to a benched Hoopa. That would feel good too. I probably want to keep my Reverse Valley. That way I could do... Actually, I'm doing 80 damage. I can already knock out Ralt, so I can get rid of the Reverse Valley. That's probably fine. So let's ditch the Reverse Valley. And then probably the Rescue Stretcher feels okay. Get ourselves another Hoopa. I can use this Mewtwo. The Mewtwo will be pretty good against Gallade. Not like great. Like it doesn't, 246, it does 120, 2, 4, 6, 7. If I have a Fury Belt, it does 140. It's bad no matter which way you look at it. I prized my Tapu Koko, so we aren't going to be able to do that. But we do have another Hoopa, so let's see if we can get another Hoopa out here, powered up. If we hit this Max Elixir, that'd be pretty sweet. We did not. All right, that's fine, because we out here attacking with Hoopa. So we're going to throw that Fury Belt probably on the active and just end. It's not like the Fury Belt is really going to keep my opponent from hitting any knockouts. Like, I bet if they want the knockout, they're going to get it. With Gallade, they're probably going to, they can't do it with Gardy, so that Fury Belt is not doing anything here. I mean, it changes my damage from 80 to 90, so there's no Pokemon in this deck that have 70 hit points that I'm really worried about. So it's just, that just is what it is. Now, unfortunately, I cannot Guzma. Oh, my opponent's just going to end me, so that's great. They don't get the turn 1 Bridget. Maybe we could just go in here. If my opponent does not get another benched Pokemon, we've already got the DC. We've got a bunch of Nest Balls. We can start to get things going, but you can see my opponent is playing Nest Ball themselves, so maybe they are not playing Bridget, as is typical in a Gardy deck. That would be interesting if they decided not to do that. Let's Nest Ball a couple times, get a few fellows out into play here. I probably want an Oranguru. I wouldn't mind having Oranguru out. I also wouldn't mind having Hoopa out. I feel like, not Hoopa, Mewtwo out, just in case my opponent does get, I don't know, some sort of Gallade action going on. Like, I could probably at least damage them a little bit with the Mewtwo. That's probably good. So let's get Oranguru and then also Nest Ball for the Mewtwo, just to have it in case this Mewtwo, this Ralt evolves and then turns into a Gallade and smacks me in the face. That would be upsetting. So we'll do that. We'll also Max Elixir. Yep, hit that Darkness Energy on our backup Hoopa here. And then I don't really want to end my opponent, but I do want to keep my one of Enhanced Hammer. They only got a 4-card hand, though, so I feel like ending them is doing them like a huge service. So I will probably just play the Sycamore. I do not want to give them a 2-card hand boost for sure. Now, I've got a Max Elixir in hand as well. I could play that, see if maybe I hit it onto my Oranguru or my Mewtwo. That could be a valid option. Then Mewtwo is a live play with the attachment of a Darkness Energy. I definitely don't mind that. So let's just see if we hit it. If we hit it, we hit it. We do. That's cool. I could throw it onto the Hoopa. I mean, then the Hoopa is like really ready to go. I actually don't mind that either. I feel like putting it on the Hoopa is probably the best case scenario. So let's just do that. Now we can go in with our Hoopa. We can try to go for a DCE for the Mewtwo. That's probably where we're at. Throw that there, and let's just Super Cybolt for knockout. Taking out that Ralt's turn to attack Hoopa. He out here doing his thing. That is awesome. Hoopa with that Super Cybolt doing a pretty nifty 80 damage. I don't mind that. Don't be a Gallade. Don't be a Gallade. Oh, he's got the Gallade. Oh my gosh, I should have ended. Ooh, this hurts. Okay, my opponent is just going to be chewing through my boys here with this Gallade. I got another Ralts. 2 more Ralts down. But they need a Fairy Energy as well, or DCE. They got the DCE. Oh, that hurts. Okay. This is not good. And Sensitive Blade does do a perfect 130, which is enough to knock out my Mewtwo as well. So if we don't get the DCE for my Mewtwo, we're at least looking for some sort of Fury Belt action would be good for the Mewtwo, so Mewtwo can tank a turn. Things have gone from bad to worse here. All of a sudden, that Gallade, I just don't even know how Attack Hoopa would even deal with this thing. This thing just plows through Attack Hoopa. Attack Hoopa is very sad. 260 damage. That is awful. So maybe I should have put that Darkness Energy on the Mewtwo. Maybe I was feeling a little bit too swifty there, thinking that my opponent would not get the cards that they needed. So let's see. I could go grab Resource Management Boy. That seems like way too slow of a strategy, though. I think we just need to get out as many Attack Hoopas as possible and just hope that that buffs out. I could Super Rod, but really, I don't really want to throw any of those cards back into the deck, but I guess I am about to Sycamore Darkness Energy, so I can throw those two back into the deck. That's fine. I desperately need a DC, so I don't want to actually attach that Darkness Energy there, though I could just go in, hit it with an Attack Hoopa, guaranteed damage there. Then the following turn come up with Mewtwo. That could be fine, but I think the order of operations is that I want to hit with Mewtwo first and then go into it. I could alternatively, like attach to Hoopa, Guzma up a Ralt, and just deal with it. Like that seems okay, actually. It's like not the worst thing ever, and then I'm like limiting my opponent in that way. Then they are going to knock out my Hoopa, but then maybe I can go up and poke them with Mewtwo the following turn. That is the dilemma. Let's just go ahead and attach. Let's take out a Ralts. I'm fine with that. We're gonna try taking out a Ralts here, and just seeing where that leaves us. I don't know. Maybe I get something off my prizes here. I just think that maybe going for the guaranteed Ralts knockout could help. I also got Tapu Koko, which does help as well. However, it only helps if I can get a Fury Belt onto my Mewtwo, because then I'm going to be Psychic. Actually, no, I'm doing 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh my gosh, I should have just gone for the DC. I would have knocked out the Gallade. I totally spaced out. My opponent's got 3 energy on that Gallade, meaning that Mewtwo is going to knock it out, so that's fine. I mean, like, I wasn't guaranteed to hit the DCE, but I will knock out this Gallade on the following turn if I do get it. So maybe I would have put my opponent in a little bit more of trouble had I just gone for the DCE there. I do have 1 DCE down, so I do have 3 in deck, so it's not guaranteed that I'm going to hit it. And I don't mind limiting my opponent's resources like that, just by knocking out the Ralts. It felt like a fine play, but now just also being aware that I, can knock out this Gallade does change kind of everything. So I'm doing 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, I'm doing 160. That's perfect damage. So I'll promote the Oranguru. There's really no reason to bench this Koko, I don't think. And sure enough, there is the DCE. I would have hit it. But, I mean, I can't really know that. So we are going in with this Mewtwo here. We are going to knock that thing out. I don't think we bench any other attackers. We want to try and get as many Hoopas out as possible at this point and limit my opponent. So let's just go in with this Mewtwo, and I think we've slapped that Fury Belt on there too, and just hope that maybe my opponent cannot remove it. That would be excellent. I probably try to go for this Max Elixir here to hit onto my benched Hoopa. That'd be fantastic. So let's see what we got. We did get it, so that is great. Now I've got another Hoopa ready to go. I could be powering up Oranguru, but I feel like I want the Oranguru just as like a stable thing. Psychic, if they only got 2 energy on it, was only doing 100 damage, so I feel like Hoopa is the superior option there. Maybe I end up relying on Oranguru resource management to start to recycle things after a while, but I got to be careful at this point that I don't put down too many non-Hoopa attackers for my opponent to deal with. So let's just retreat into Mewtwo. Hopefully they miss the knockout on Mewtwo. Then I could do something crazy like Acerola the Mewtwo, deny a prize, something like that. So let's just Psychic, knock this Gallade out. Fortunately, we were able to get there because of that over energy attachment. Now we've got a Cynthia too, so that is awesome. I probably want to throw that Hoopa down. Maybe I should have thrown the Hoopa down earlier. I mean, now we see a Parallel City coming down and another Gallade. So there is the Gallade. Do we have DCE? Do we have the cards we need in order to knock out this Mewtwo? They need to play a supporter, and they need a DCE, and they need a Field Blower in order to deal a perfect 130 damage to my Mewtwo. If they do that, they'll go down to 3 prizes. That is a little bit annoying, but I can at least go up with Hoopa, attack into them for 80. I am two-shotting a Gallade, so if they don't get another Ralts down, I'm actually not in the worst situation ever. And they're just going to have to Cynthia for it. So they have no like auxiliary draw out. They don't have any sort of other way. No Oranguru on the field. No Octillery. They just get 6 cards. They need Field Blower DCE. If they don't get it, I imagine if they got it, they're probably just going to slap it right down. But they're going for the Premonition first, which makes me feel like they didn't get it, which could totally just put us in the clear in this game. If I get the first hit in on this Gallade, I feel like the momentum is headed my way for sure. And I'm still like thinking back to that play where I Guzma'd out the Ralts, and that was like kind of a pivotal play. And you see they attach the fairy, they don't have it. So I am just golden here to get to go in and attack. But that was a pivotal play for me. And I think that it ended up buffing out, but it could have also been really bad. I'm not exactly sure what the 100% correct play to do is, but you could see taking out that Ralts has left me in a amazing position because my opponent was not able to replenish the Ralts, and now I only have 1 Gallade left to take out, and I am good to go. I think I am going to just put down another Hoopa, and I am going to attach, wait, I'm doing like 100 damage. I'm going to attach probably another energy there, and I am just going to Psychic this thing and keep my hand exactly the way it is. So what I've done is I've built up 2 Hoopas who are ready to go, and they can both, let's see, they do 80 damage. I only did 60, so 80 damage plus the 60. I'm a little bit short. I do need a Fighting Fury Belt. They do got the DCE. They did not get the Field Blower. I'm hoping that they whiff the Field Blower here in order to keep this thing alive. They Premonition, that makes me think that they did not get the Field Blower, which is totally insane. I am just kind of sitting here just hoping that I can survive another turn. So I'm not exactly sure. I thought I kind of miscalculated in my head how much damage Psychic was going to be doing that turn. So I am a little bit, I need to do 90 damage. So I do need another Fighting Fury Belt. And I think that I might be running low on those. I only have 1 Fighting Fury Belt left. So I could potentially get it. Maybe I should have gone in and attached one of these Darknesses to the Oranguru so that I'm guaranteed to do 100 damage to knock out the Gallade. That could have been the play here, but I am kind of golden because I could just Acerola this thing and just go in and Psychic again. So I don't end up having to pay for that little bit of maybe I should have put the Darkness Energy on the Oranguru just in case, but we should be good. So let's just Acerola this Mewtwo, and now we are doing enough damage because I have damaged the Gallade already, and I think at this point we are more or less just home free because they are just going to have a hard time. I only have 2 prizes remaining. I'm going to start damaging into that Lele, and that Lele has got nothing on these guys here. That Lele just has no business with Attack Hoopa. So Acerola coming in super clutch there, and then I just need to decide, do I put the Fighting Fury Belt on the Mewtwo or not? I feel like I probably don't, so let's just retreat, and I probably save the Fighting Fury Belt for one of my benched Hoopas here. We're doing 2, 4, 6, 120, 120 plus 60, plenty of damage, so let's just Psychic this thing for knockout. And now we have taken the commanding lead here. Total craziness. I was looking at this matchup like, how in the world can we finagle a matchup where my opponent plays tons of Gallades, and now you can see we have a clear route. There definitely is a route we could take. We also play Special Charge, so I'm not going to be running out of DCEs anytime soon. I just need to take out this Tapu Lele. Now, I'm not sure what my opponent's max potion situation is like. You can see they are playing Talonflame, so I don't know, how many Talonflame they're playing, but maybe their Talonflame is, taking away from their ability to play cards like Max Potion. They played their second Super Rod this turn, throwing in tons of Pokemon. They've got a Ralts out, but I could just take that Ralts out right now, which is exactly what I'm going to do. They only got one Ralts into play, so I know that that Ralts is danger alert, and we are just going to go in with Attack Hoopa and do what Attack Hoopa does best, and attack. So here we go. We're going down to one prize. I know that's a little bit sketchy, but I think it's fine because we just need to piece together one more prize. So I think that we just do that. I'm going to grip the rest of these cards in my hand. My opponent's got 4 prizes to take, and they've only got 2 non-Hoopa attackers on board, so they are going to have to knock out both this Mewtwo, the Oranguru, and both Hoopas. They have to knock out all 4 of these Pokemon in play, which is why I'm not putting down other cards right now. I'm making it harder for my opponent to do that, and they can't really play N. You can see they did not even get themselves a Ralts, so now they're pretty much stuck. I mean, they don't have it. I think I'm just going to go in here and just start attaching my resources and probably just Cynthia. So let's just mix this hand up, see what we get. Now I'm Super Psybolt here. If I get Guzma, I don't have Guzma, but that's fine. I'll special charge, throw a DCE back into the deck just so that I have that there. Now, if they don't get this Tapu Lele out of the active position, they are going to lose the game since I'm doing 90 damage. So they also cannot promote a Pokemon that would get knocked out, so they can't promote a Ralts. They can't promote something like a Vulpix. They would have to put another Lele down, and then, okay, so I am getting End. That's fine. You can see I kept that Fury Belt up in my hand just in case my opponent did hit the Field Blower, and then I would have it in order to place on my Hoopa there. I have Oranguru, though. This is exactly what Oranguru is in this deck for. They finally get the Field Blower. So as I was saying, I did not want to overcommit my last Fighting Fury Belt, just in case a situation like this happens. Now I have a situation, I got to draw a support or 2. That's fantastic. I could just attach this to the Oranguru, instruct for 3, see if I could just get myself a Fighting Fury Belt. Oh, we missed it so far. Let's just attach that DCE to Oranguru since I'm committed there. And Cynthia, draw 6. Do we get it? And we don't. So we are going to leave this thing here painfully. Actually, no, we knock it out. I am bad at math, so there we go. We don't need the Fighting Fury Belt. I was missing out on the math the whole time, so I just slow rolled my opponent for no reason. No wonder they were telling me good game. I was adding up to 180. I was like, I need 90 and 90 to hit 180, but Lele is, of course, only 170. So we were able to get there with Attack Hoopa doing its thing, taking down Fields of Gallades. That was nuts. Did not see that happening at all. So I'm going to go ahead and show off this list one more time. That list was pretty good, not going to lie. It has more grit than I thought it would have. I thought that this deck could just completely fold to any sort of Gallade or any sort of attackers that could just take down Hoopas, but as you could see, that was not necessarily the case. We definitely put up a pretty good fight there. So the Gladians there too allows you to search things out of your prizes. If you happen to have a clutch piece prize, I do like things like the 1 of Enhanced Hammer is kind of neat. You don't play Skyla, but I guess when you see it, it's probably usually pretty good. The 4 Guzma is essential since you want to be able to target down your opponent's threats on the bench that could turn into things that'll be dangerous to Hoopa. 4 Guzma is definitely great. You saw Acerola coming in clutch there since we are giving our non-EX, non-GX Pokemon like Hoopa and Mewtwo 160 and 170 hit points with these Fighting Fury Belts. I play 4. I actually thought the whole time I was playing with 3, but I do play 4 Fighting Fury Belts. Since we're giving them such a big hit point boost with Fighting Fury Belt, Acerola is really good since there's sometimes where these non-EX guys are not getting knocked out, and then when you are able to deny that prize, it's even more painful, grinds the game out even longer for your opponent. And the longer the game goes on, the better things are for Attack Hoopa. So thank you all for watching the video. Thank you all for hanging out today. Hope you guys have a great day. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Peace.